Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we are taking a look at the Vancouver Canucks forward Brock Boeser, as they've already traded out Bo Horvat. But what's next? It sounds like Brock Boeser's name has been floating around the rumor mills, and things are progressing toward a potential trade. We're going to take a look at that today. So it sounds like the story is kind of the same. I'm almost certain I made a video about this in the past. It's like deja vu, that it seems like there are two teams that it is down to for Brock Boeser, and these are teams we've talked about in the past. So the two teams mentioned are the Minnesota Wild and the New Jersey Devils, as seemingly the landing spots for Brock Boeser at this point. His agent has gone out and actually spoken to these teams and looked for a way to make a trade work, and it sounds like those are the two teams that he is going to most likely end up at. Now, this is also followed up by an interesting report here from Frank Saravelli of Daily Faceoff. He said that Brock Boeser is one of the most interesting trade targets to watch at the NHL trade deadline. The Vancouver Canucks have made it known that they are looking to move on from him, and he could be a solid addition to a contender's forward group. And like I said, according to Frank Saravelli of Daily Faceoff, the Penguins are a team to pay attention to in the Boeser sweepstakes. And I've mentioned that in the past as well. But it sounds like, according to his agent, it is the Minnesota Wild and the New Jersey Devils. It sounds like those are the two teams that they've actually spoken to in order to try and facilitate a trade. The Pittsburgh Penguins as well seem to be interested in Brock Boeser. And that was actually my pick at the deadline, is he would end up in Pittsburgh. You know, I think the Penguins right now are the most desperate of those two teams because of their situation with Crosby and Malkin and everybody else there. I apologize. I'm a little stuffed up today. This is a team that really is in desperation mode to make the postseason. And they might be willing to make that move for Brock Boeser. So, when I look at this situation, overall, I think he will end up going to the Minnesota Wild or the New Jersey Devils. I think the Penguins are in the mix if they're willing to pony up the assets. But I just don't see them giving up a first-round pick this year. Even depth draft picks, I just don't think Pittsburgh's going to do it. Meanwhile, New Jersey or Minnesota might be more willing to give up a higher draft pick, maybe a second-round pick. I don't think a first-round pick is needed for Boeser at this point, but I think it's more facilitating the salary side of things. That's obviously a big portion of the issue here, and I think when you look at Minnesota in particular, it's even more difficult because of those Suter and Parise buyout penalties that are going to be coming in the next couple of years with Boeser now on the books. It's going to be even more difficult. So when I look at it in that sense, I think the New Jersey Devils, if I had to pick right now, gun to my head, I'm going with the New Jersey Devils picking up Brock Boeser here because they've got some really good players there in Jersey. You've got Jack Hughes. You've got Nico Hischier. You've got some of the younger guys starting to develop and kind of come into their own around them. So I'm really excited for what they are capable of in New Jersey. But, Alexander Holtz still leaves a little bit more, leaves you wanting more. As well as some of those other young guys that are going to be coming up. They're going to have a lot of entry-level contracts, which means they have a little bit of extra money to play with, which means maybe they could bring in a reclamation project like a Brock Boeser, right? With Simon Nemec and Luke Hughes potentially coming in either at the end of this season or the start of next year for sure. They will be able to alleviate a little bit of cap space, and I think that's really going to be an important factor here for this New Jersey Devils team. I think they ultimately end up with Boeser, but I know the Minnesota Wild, he's from Duluth, Minnesota, so obviously that connection has been brought up numerous amounts of times, and I think he could end up going there too. With that said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Where do you guys think we will see Brock Boeser end up as the newest member of a new club? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.